I am Cam Jennings coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com, and I want to welcome you to another episode of The Mighty Few. In case you're wondering, in case you're keeping score, man, welcome to Season 3 of The Mighty Few. Okay, this is episode 1 of Season 3, and we're going to be getting into it today. So I want to welcome you first and foremost. I want to remind you, right? You're helping me out a ton if you share this video with someone you think it might help. And if you like what I have to say, please subscribe, okay? I would love to have you on board with what I got going on. So welcome to the Mighty Few. What are we talking about today? Today I want to talk about how I made thousands off of a podcast that was literally failing me, right? How did I do it? What am I talking about? Let me give you some context. Okay, so back in 2019, we have to go a couple years back here, a few years back, I guess you could say. Back in 2019, I was doing a podcast. It was called the EpicConversions.com podcast. Okay, and that podcast, I was doing it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I was doing it as a live stream. Okay, I was doing it a live stream on Facebook at the time. And it was doing pretty good. It was it was okay. It was growing a little bit, not like crazy growth, but it was doing okay. But it was kind of stalling out a bit too, It wasn't doing what I thought. I mean, like when I started, I thought, this will be a big podcast. I'm going to grow it really big. Well, it didn't really grow that big. I mean, it was growing a little bit, but it did serve its purpose. It was putting emails on my list. I was pulling people into my ecosystem. I was injecting free content into the marketplace, and I was, getting people into my world, into my ecosystem. I was getting people in. So it was doing what it was supposed to do. It just wasn't growing very much. So what happened? 2019 ends, 2020 starts, okay? And as you guys know, what happened at the beginning of 2020? The pandemic broke out. And I think a lot of people started changing their ways of thinking, right? I know when the pandemic broke out, like I lost all my coaching students all at once. It was crazy. But the podcast I was working on, I was like, you know what? I'm ending this. And I did. I ended it at around 100 episodes. 100 episodes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think I pretty much recorded all year long. And I ended it at 100 episodes, the EpicConversions.com podcast. But I was like, man, I put so much work into this podcast. I feel like I'm losing just ending it like this. What can I don't want to just take an L on this content. Now it's just going to be sitting out there, not doing that much for me, right? So what did I do? What did I decided to do was I said, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to package all these episodes up from the EpicConversions.com podcast. I'm going to take them all down off the internet. I took them off of Spotify because I had to distribute it everywhere. I take them all off of Spotify, take them all off of, Pandora, all off of iHeartRadio, all these other places you can distribute podcasts to. I took it all off all those places. I took it away from there. Okay. And when I took it away from there, what I did was I bundled it up into a package, right? And I said, I need to reposition this podcast. So what I did was I said, I'm going to license this podcast. I'm going to reposition it and license the content to other people. Okay. So what I did was I came up with this package. I called it Guru in a Box. Guru in a Box. 100 unique audio lessons. 100 unique. I can't remember the exact subtitle I used, but it was like basically 100 unique audio lessons done with personality is basically how I put the subtitle. 100 unique audio lessons done with personality. Guru in a Box. And I came up with this cool little art cover for it or whatever. And I sold it. I licensed the podcast to other people, right? And I gave them a PLR license on the content. If you don't know what that means private label rights. Okay. So that means they have the ability to use it however they want to use it. They can edit it. They can do whatever they want with it. Right. Excuse me. Okay. So that was a hit. All right. That was a hit. That made a few $1,000s for me licensing that content. Well, look, a hit subjectively, right? Plenty of people made many, many more millions of dollars than I have. But from my worldview, from my standpoint, making a few $1,000 off the podcast that really hadn't made me that much money at all, it had just been kind of a lead generator up until that point. To me, that was a win. I turned an L into a W as far as I was concerned. So yeah, I licensed it, and that's how I turned that failing podcast into thousands of dollars for me. It was fantastic, right? And it's an asset that I still own today. Okay, so what is the takeaway of all this? What am I telling you this for? Am I telling it to you so you can relive my glory days? No, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you these things because they are still very much in play today. Look, content, okay, has value past your original purpose. Okay, content has value past your original purpose. That's the first takeaway. Once you create something, it has value generally past what you created it for. Oh, you wanted a special report on the marketplace, so you created something that you could sell on Gumroad? That's cool. Maybe 2 years from now, Gumroad doesn't matter anymore. And now, like, maybe nobody cares about your special report anymore. Okay, what about the concepts and ideas in that ebook? Can you update them? Can you turn them into an email package, right? Could you turn them into a podcast? Could you turn them into like a video series on your YouTube channel? Could you do something else with them? Could you reposition them to be foundational for a little membership club you wanted to start? Absolutely, you could. You absolutely could do that. There's nothing keeping you from doing whatever you want with your IPs, okay? And you don't know what I'm talking intellectual properties, right? It's your intellectual property. As soon as you create it, you can do whatever you want with it, and it never dies, okay? It is yours now. It'll be yours next year. It'll be yours 5 years from now, and it'll still have value, okay? So don't sleep on these info products and these, products that you create, these digital products that you create, thinking, well, that was 2 months ago. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm on to this next thing. Man, you've been creating 5 notes a day for Substack for the last 6 months trying to grow your Substack, but for some reason, your Substack doesn't seem to get any attention. Nobody seems to care. Okay, well, guess what? All those notes still have value. Package them up and license them to somebody else. Package the content up, reposition it into an ebook or reposition it into something else and do something else with it. Again, let me repeat that takeaway. Content has value past your original purpose. A simple repositioning can change everything. Listen, thanks so much for joining me. This has been episode 1 of season 3 of The Mighty Few. If you like what you heard, please share this video with someone you think it might help. Please subscribe to my Substack. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next episode of The Mighty Few. Peace now.